I wanted to do a video about a lady that was special in the industry. She passed away about 2 years ago. Her name was Princess Jackson. She was such a great teacher, mentor. She taught pretty much, I would say, roughly 50 to 60 people, 50 to 60% of people in Texas. I'm training them how to be an administrator. She meant so much to the industry, and she meant a lot to me. She was very good in telling you what needed to be done, and she had years of experience. Um, she was my teacher in class. I went to UT Southwest Medical, and after my class ended, they ended the program there. So I was like three of us. That was the last members to come out of UT Southwest Medical in the 2 year program. They still did, but she still taught after that at Tarrant County at a junior college. You can now get your, or I think you could back then, but it was a couple of us actually went to a university to actually get our nursing home administration classes to go take our state and federal tests. But Miss Jackson, she was the sweetest person. She had such a soft spoken voice, but she always, commanded respect. She was someone that you wanted to look up to. Her knowledge was second to none. Um, Owners now, people who are RDOs, people who are administrators, they went through her because she taught for, I would say, roughly about 20 years. She was in the industry or more. She actually started off as a nursing home administrator and went to teaching, but she passed away a couple years ago, and I don't even think the industry in Texas ever really fully recovered from her passing. Because if you ask anybody about her, you never hear a bad word. That's the kind of person she was. And as time goes by, I just don't never want her to be forgotten. She meant so much to me personally. You can always call her up night or day. If she couldn't answer her phone, she would definitely get back to you. But she was such a sweet lady, and she taught me so much. She was an African American lady, and it was times where I'll be at meetings with her where, TCHA meetings or meetings get the preceptorship, and all these men would just flock around her, and it was crazy for someone you seeing people that you might want a job from, and they're giddy like little kids around this lady. They was all sit down just to get a moment of her time, and these are owners and regional director of operations, and I could see the power that she had, that and she wasn't power driven, but it was just her demeanor, and she taught me so much about just being a nursing home administrator that I just wanted to pass on some of the knowledge. Being an African American lady and me being an African American man, she taught me some of the things that I would be up against, and even just by being an administrator. I mean, one of the things she said is never drive a better car than your regional director of operations. So it always dawned on me. When I became administrator, I used to drive like fancy cars, but I'm like, well, should I get a low budget car to go to work in? Because just that little information there. But other than that little tidbit, she knew nursing homes back and forth. She knew what it would take to make them run. Problems. Even when you became a nursing home administrator, several administrators still called her just when they ran into issues and problems. If you ever needed a job, you give her a call and she'll put a word in for you, or she'll get you somewhere where you need to be. One of my my very first job was because of her, out in West Texas. Like I said, I'm in Texas. Uh, yeah, she made a call, and like I said, when you become a nurse home administrator, you more than likely not going to get a job in the metroplex unless you know somebody. You did a program with somebody a big company, and let's say you already work for them. They it's just a lesser chance of getting a qualified city job when you first become an administrator. Um, but yeah, she made a call, did her interview, and got me my very first job. A lot of people don't know this, but I'm gonna let it be known now. After you take your test 3 times and you fail, you have to redo your 1,000 hour internship. I am one of the rare few people who failed 3 times. First time I took both tests at the same time. I was like, oh, this is going to be a piece of cake. I know my information back and forth. And I actually passed the state test first try, but the NAP, which is the harder test, I did fail. Second time, I said, and each time I only missed by 3 or 4 points. So it kind of like, well, just take it again. So the second time I took it again and missed by like 2 points. So I'm like, this is going to be a piece of cake. I just got to do a little bit more studying. That third time, I should actually cancel because I had so much trouble getting there. My axle on my car broke, so I couldn't go backwards on the highway. I hit a truck almost ran me over. I wasn't in the right frame of mind. I get to the test, park underground, and I couldn't even move my car from since my axle broke. I couldn't even go forward. I had to run to the test. My mind wasn't on the test, and so I failed 3 times. So after you fail 3 times, you have to do your internship program over again. So at this point in my life, I was still young. I'm like, this is just something I want to go and focus on. I wanted to give up, after I went through all the classroom material. Actually, got a 3.8 in the classroom. We took up a management class. It come out to be a post bachelorette. I'm like, wow, I wish they would have just since we took 400. I think they was 400 level classes, um, and we got 30. I think 18 to 36 hours. It should have been a master's, but the program was designed to be a master's. What you got was a health services administration, a second degree, but really with the hours, it should have been a master's program. But nevertheless, uh, I was ready to give up. I'm like, this test is hard. I mean, and I'm not the only one to say that. I have precept people who still haven't taken the test to this day. I was in class with people that took the test once and never went back, and called me today and I'm like, well, you just got to take the test. You might do good or you might do bad, but you still got to get in there and try. And so it's okay to fail, but you just keep trying and you'll get it right. But I was at that point after I did take it 3 times. I was at a point where, I'm like, well, I'm never going to be a nursing home administrator. I might well just find another job. And, she encouraged me, you're so close. All you need to do is, concentrate. I'll find you an internship program that pays. So, since she is like the bloodline of probably like I said, she's roughly probably like 60-70% of area administrator in Texas went through her for training. There's a couple of schools you can go to if you want to go to a brick and mortar school. I believe one is in Midland and the one at Tarrant County here in the Dallas Fort Worth area. But she was actually teaching there and at our facility or our college at UT Southwest Medical. Um, but she her knowledge was so great and her connection was so great. I said I'll give it another try. So I bared through another 1,000 hour internship, and this time I actually did not just go and take the test. What I did was I went to one of it's actually I believe it could be more 2 places where you can go and they help you study for the test. One was in San Antonio. The other one, I believe, in still functioning is in Houston. I went to the one in San Antonio. It was a 2 day prep course. And as soon as I got back, I went and took the test and passed with flying colors that time. So just to let you know, it can be done. Get back to Miss Princess Jackson. I remember I didn't even know she was going. I left my money at home. I had some money in my pocket to fill up my tank. So we went, well, I went to a preceptor class in Austin, and it's 1 day course. You stay there from, I believe, 8:30 in the morning to 5:30 in night, and after that you turn, you just fill out some forms, and then you can be a preceptor, where you can take on an AIT. So I get to Waco, which is about halfway. So I had reached in my pocket, found out I did not have my wallet. So I went ahead and I said, well, I might got a couple dollars after I put some gas in my tank. I got enough to get to Austin and back to Dallas, um, pretty much on a fill up. So I get there. I think that night I might have had like less than $5 on me. So I went and got a dollar burger or something. And then the next day I get to the preceptor class and Miss Jackson is there. And, she like, Walter, she had this sweet voice. And she like, come sit next to me. And then that's when, I sat next to her and all these people get started rushing her. And she, it was good to see that, somebody, especially an African American, had that kind of standing. I mean, there was all kind of like, men and women just rushing up to her just to say hi, shake her hand, let her know how they doing. People that she has taught, people who just heard of her name. And I'm just next to her, and while she was giving me the attention, everybody else was giving her the attention, and I'm like, wow. You never know how big somebody is or a celebrity they are until you see them around other people. And I'm like, wow, somebody who just a mentor to me that I can call up in the middle of the night and talk to her on the phone is really a nursing home administrator rock star. Like I said, these are owners, people who own multiple units, and they just want to come up and thank her and shake her hand and give her so much love and caring. And this same lady told me, come sit next to me. And so I told her, I left my money at home. I know lunch is coming up, and you got to eat dinner. She like, don't worry about it. I got you. She gave me some money out of her pocket. She's like, you're going to lunch with me. We went to lunch, and I'm gonna pay you back. She said, you don't have to pay me back. She was like, I know you. I know that you forgot your wallet. She took all that under consideration, and I mean, even the following year, or 2 years, I think your preceptorship is good for 2 years. We went back, and I tried to actually pay for a meal. I think she let me pay for a meal, but I tried to pay her back, and she was like, no, no, no. But I think I wound up paying for her meal that time. But she was such a good mark on the facility of nursing home facilities in the state of Texas. They used to actually, she used to tell me how she used to what is called these mini surveys where sometimes corporate does it within, where you try to get one facility prepared, so you hire outside to come in and pretend to be like state, look at records, look at any potential issues or problems. And I mean, she taught me so well that even when I did intern work, I can go in as a problem solver. I can look and say, okay, I know state would ding that. I can see that is out of place. Let me look at your books. In fire safety, do you have 12 months of fire, where you have to do fire drills? Just certain things. It goes more into depth, but that'd be for another video. But I don't want her to ever be forgotten, and that's why I wanted to make this video. She is such a sweet lady. She taught me a lot. Another lady that actually got me in front of Princess Jackson Julie Solinger. Like I said, I used to be a food service director. And when I was a food service director, she's the one that came and said, you have a talent. You're a food service director, but you have a talent with people. You have a way you speak with people, how you can get people to do things and motivate them. She said you need to go to school and be a nursing home administrator. And I put her off about a year. I said, oh yeah, I was okay with being a food service director. Like I said, I like the hours. Not a lot of responsibility. But without Julie, I wouldn't even went and pursued being a nursing home administrator. So I wanted to actually thank her for that. And she's still alive, but she's just kind of hard to find. Every time I ask somebody about her, she just left that facility. I think right now, the last I heard, she's down in Austin. But if I ever find her, I wanted to thank her also. So thank you, and like subscribe. If you have any questions, please give me a call. My phone is going off now. That's why I'm looking at the phone in such a way. But you have any comments, please leave them down below. Thank you. Bye.